We're live now. We're ready to go.
Yes, hold on 1 second, just while we get the agenda. We are good to go, Chair Buck.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Welcome, everybody. Appreciate having you here today. At this time, we can confirm that we do have quorum for the meeting. We do have regrets from 2 members. So at this time, we'll call the Accessibility Advisory Committee meeting to order on October 30th, 2025 at 1 p.m. Land acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge that the Township of Cavan-Monaghan is located on the Treaty 20 Mississauga territory in the traditional territory of the Mississauga and Anishinaabe. We offer our gratitude to First Nations for their care for and teachings about these lands. May we honor these teachings. Everybody got a copy of the agenda prior to the meeting. So at this time, I'd like to ask for a mover and seconder that the agenda for the Accessibility Advisory Committee be approved as presented. And this will have to be a recorded vote as well today. So can I get a mover?
I'll second it.
Councilor and Leslie, thank you. All in favor, recorded,
Yes.
is all unanimous and carries.
So just to quickly interject here, but what we'll need to do for recorded vote is just call each of the members and have them say yes or no
Okay,
in a revolving order.
can do. You bet. Thank you. Disclosure of pecuniary interest in the general nature thereof. There were no pecuniary interest processes noted for this meeting.
Chair Buck, I'm just going to quickly interrupt. So can we just go back and just quickly call each of the members just to confirm? We could start with Vice Chair Wilcock if you like, or Councilor Byrne, however you'd like to start. I don't mind if that makes it easier for me to help with the recorded vote, Colin.
Yes, please. Would probably be beneficial for the recorded vote if you were to conduct that for us.
Perfect. Okay, so we have a mover, which is Councilor Byrne. I have a seconder by Leslie. So we'll start the recorded vote. So Leslie.
Yes.
Councilor Byrne.
Yes.
And Chair Buck.
Yes,
Perfect, and that's carried.
thank you. Okay, so minutes of the meeting that were held on September 18th were also circulated before this meeting today. So we will need a mover and a seconder for the minutes of the Accessibility Advisory Committee meeting held on September 18th, 2025 to be approved as presented. And can I get a mover? Leslie, thank you. Seconder, Councilor Burns. And again, Cindy, if I get you to call the recorded vote, please.
Chair Buck.
Yes.
Councilor Byrne.
Yes.
Leslie Wilcock.
Yes.
Perfect, that's carried.
Great. Now we can move into the general business of the meeting today. First thing up is that the Accessibility Advisory Committee approved the addition of the revised plan of subdivision for Vargas South. Can I get a mover and a seconder and a recorded vote for this one? I'll take the move from Councilor Burns, second Leslie. Cindy, if we get you to do the recorded vote again, please.
Leslie, Councilor Byrne.
Yes.
Leslie.
Yes.
Chair Buck.
Yes.
Carried. So just before we get started and turn it over to staff, I'd just like to do a brief introduction of all of our members that are with us today. And we'll start with Drew.
I'm down in the corner. I'm not sure if you can see me, but I'm Drew Hutchison, Public Works Engineering Technologist.
And I guess myself, it's Wayne Hancock, Director of Public Works. Matt Wilkinson, Planner of the Township.
Hi. Nice to meet you guys. I can't really see Drew, but I heard you.
Okay, so we'll turn it over to Drew. Everybody will see the new plan and it's been circulated. And if there's any concerns following or we need to slow things down, please feel free to interrupt as we go through this.
Thank you, Cindy. Yeah, as Cindy mentioned, this plan is a little bit complex. As this is the first time going through, hopefully we can improve on it. And as we get more submissions in for developments or site plans, we can simplify the drawings to give a better suitable set of drawings for this committee to review and go over. But moving on today, we are discussing the Vargas South development, which is on the southeast corner of County Road 10 and Falls Line. So if you can see my cursor, the top left corner is where the CMCC and the municipal office is, and just down below that is the existing Tower Hill South development. So we are talking about right across the road from there. So today I'm just going to take you through kind of our walkway connections between Falls Line and to the south of the development, which is Colebrook Drive, as well as how to direct yourself through the subdivision, through the sidewalks, as well as connecting to the park block. So I'll just start right at County Road 10 and Falls Line, and we can go through this. If there are any questions, feel free to raise your hand and we can go to you at any time. I'm just trying to get zoomed in here. Okay, so I think that's at a level that can everyone see fairly well there?
Yes.
Awesome. So starting right at Falls Line, there will be an extension of Falls Line going to the east. That is a separate plan, so that will be brought back to the committee at a later date for that review. Regarding Falls Line, though, there will be sidewalk on either side of the road. So then that brings us to Street A, which is sidewalk presently on the east side of the road. It is a 1.5 meter sidewalk. And if you can follow my cursor, it goes straight south, following Street A all along. It does go directly to the park block, which on this plan is block 132. And continuing south, it maintains on the east side of the road. Continuing down, I will have to switch plans here.
Drew, is it okay if I ask a question now before we go, just so I don't forget?
Yes, for sure.
Okay. So I'm just, and forgive me if I'm jumping ahead here. I was just looking at the intersection where Street B meets Street A.
Yeah.
And I see the sidewalk is on the north side of Street B, going over to the east side of Street A because there's no sidewalk on the west side. So when we cross at, I guess, Street B over to the east side of Street A, I can't tell if it's going to be crossing over into a driveway or if there's going to be like a small little sidewalk connector. I don't know if that's the right terminology to use to allow like safe passage across the street.
For sure. So presently on this drawing, you are correct. It is crossing into a driveway.
Okay.
As I mentioned to start, this is just a draft plan for the engineering document. I have noted that in my review right now, so it will be a request going to the consulting engineer to make an adjustment if possible there to create an actual sidewalk approach and not cross onto the driveway.
Okay.
So that, like I said, that will be a comment.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I know just walking around my subdivision, there's several places where there is just a little sidewalk to provide a safe crossing. For example, my street, people cross into my driveway because there is no sidewalk crossing available. And during the summer months, that's adequate and safe. In the winter, however, that poses a bit of a concern because there's nowhere for people who need to use assistive devices to cross safely. And the mailbox is also located there, which you guys, I don't know at what stage you become aware of where those are going to be located. But it's just something that I've noticed myself, is that can pose, perhaps a potentially unsafe situation for pedestrians.
Definitely, no, that's a very good comment, and I know in previous discussions we have talked about some of the issues or stuff that was missed in the Tower Hill South development, so we are looking to correct those the best we can moving forward.
Great, thank you.
So just as I was mentioning previously, I'm just going to scroll to my next drawing. But it does show the sidewalk continuing around the bend. It's now on the north side of Street A, and then we'll continue to Colebrook and connect into the sidewalk that is on the southeast side of Colebrook Drive. So it will continue right into Colebrook throughout that subdivision. Moving back up the drawing. I will start at the park block and continue up. So as I mentioned, the sidewalk continues right to the park block. There is a sidewalk connecting Street A to the cul-de-sac of Street D to continue all the way around the cul-de-sac and continuing on the east side of Street D. That does come back up to Street B and then connects to Street B and continues, connects to Street C and continues back to Falls Line, where there will be a continuation of the sidewalk going to the east. So I'm back on Street D coming up. As I just mentioned, you could go to the east and go out to Falls Line, or you could go west and continue on Street C. There are curb depressions at the intersections to allow you to cross there. The sidewalk, as I mentioned, is on the south side. The Street C continues and you can cross Street A, which would be going to Street B, and it is on the south side of Street B. It loops all the way around this block and comes back to Street A. And that's the area that Leslie was just mentioning about the crossing across Street A there.
Through the chair, we're just going to stop for one quick second. We're just going to switch out our huddle pod because there's some issues with hearing us clearly externally. So just give us 1 second here.
Okay.
Test, can you hear us?
Oh, yes, that's
Much
much better.
Test.
We can
Much
hear.
better.
Take the audio.
Oh, now you guys are muted.
Can you hear us all right now? Can you speak, just to confirm?
Yep, it's much clearer now.
Yeah, much better.
Just have the audio output.
Try speaking again, please.
Can you
How about
hear
now?
us?
Okay, one more.
You guys are much clearer. Hopefully we're getting through the here.
No, they're not.
I don't think they can hear us.
Speak again, Leslie or Paul.
Yep, how about now? Can you hear?
This one?
How about now? Are we coming through?
Yeah, the speakers are going up.
This one's out.
Right there, yeah.
Test, test. Can you hear us now?
Yep, we can hear
Can
you.
speak? Can we hear you?
Are we coming through? No, I don't think you can hear us yet.
No. But they sound much better.
They do. You guys are muted now, but can you hear us?
We can't hear you. Just 1 second.
I'm gonna try all the speakers. That's the TV. I don't know. Should be one of these.
Test, test.
We
You're
can
good.
hear you very clearly.
Okay.
Can you hear us?
Yep.
We're back. Good. Okay.
Great.
Perfect. Sorry for the delay.
It was worth it. This sounds much better.
Yeah.
Perfect, okay, great, good, 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 okay. So where were we again? No, just kidding. Okay, pick back up.
Question, please.
Yep, go ahead, Jerry.
What is a flow channel across from Street B? What's that? Is that paved that you can drive on? That chunk that goes from the cul-de-sac to the west, right there where your cursor is? That piece there, what's that? What is a flow channel?
It's an overflow area for stormwater.
So you can't walk through there.
It would be a grass area, I'm assuming. I don't have
On a
a,
ditch.
yes, it would be a ditch.
We have allowed for the 5 meter sidewalk.
Yeah,
On the south
Runs
side,
right through. Right
Yeah.
I live there.
through the
So,
middle.
yeah, sorry.
South side. there.
Right here where my cursor is a sidewalk right on that.
That going to sidewalk on street A and to the cul-de-sac.
So that ditch, when it gets to either edge on the east and the west side, does it flow into piping?
That's an overflow channel. That's just a grass area that flows out from street to street for major flows. So we have a 100-year storm, it comes down the cul-de-sac, flows through the street and down.
But I'm trying to figure out the grade to the rest of the land around it. If that channel needs to be deeper. Where's the water go at either end?
Well, it's more just a retention for overflow and
It's not gonna be
then
a pond.
it should be dry. It's for if we do get a large storm, there's a catchment area.
Yes. There's no place for it to flow out on either end.
No, because
That's all I'm trying to figure out.
yeah, no, it's mainly for the rear yard. For overflow area to come down, yeah. So I believe I've gone over all the sidewalk.
Did you want to mention, sorry, you want to mention about the other side of the
Good
street?
question. Is it okay if I ask another question, Drew, before you move on from the park block?
For sure.
So, so I'm just looking, so I see how the park block is essentially, completely surrounded by sidewalk on the west, north, and a little bit of the east where the cul-de-sac is. Do you know where the walkways going into that block will be positioned? Was just curious about the grading there because I couldn't see. I see that there's a slope, but I couldn't read what the slope was. Like in the park in the subdivision that I'm in, there's a walkway that connects to the sidewalk so people can walk through the park on a paved surface. And I just wasn't sure if you knew where that was going to be placed and if it would be placed kind of away from the overflow channel.
So at this time, we don't know the design of the park.
Okay.
We will be going through that process at a later date. Once we're ready to go through that stage. So like I mentioned before, once that site plan is in a draft form, then we would bring that to the committee. But at this time, we don't have a design for the park.
Okay. And then just one more question on the sidewalks. Do you know what type of material will be used for the surface indicators at the sidewalk crossings in this development? I know in the one that I'm in now, I think it's the plastic surface indicator. Some of them are a little bit damaged. So I wasn't sure what I guess from my knowledge, what the standard was and what in your experience you have found kind of works best to achieve signaling like that you've crossed a street if you're visually impaired.
Yeah, so those are OPSD standards. So in Tower Hill South, they're more or less a plastic material. There is another option, which is a metal or iron material. So we haven't been provided what the developer is proposing to use on that. But they will be the OPSD standards. So it will come at a further time.
Okay.
So we do have, the plates will be in place, the materials, the one item that we're aware of, and the plastic has been getting cracked by the sidewalk tiles, et cetera. So, but it is an acceptable OPSD standard. We're looking to further amend that to say we only accept the metal, but we haven't seen what they want to use here yet. We
Okay.
prefer the metal ourselves.
Okay. I wondered which one was easier to maintain and was less prone to damage.
I think plastic is prone to damage. That's what we've found.
Yeah.
Jerry?
My question would be, is the metal, whatever the transition plate called, is it not more slippery in the icy weather than plastic? Or is there a different?
It is textured. So I haven't received any concerns about slipperiness during winter.
Just metal ice is not more.
100%. So I think for both there's pros and cons.
Yeah.
So we just have to go through that. And obviously any input is beneficial to us on our end as well.
Yeah. I mean, I think the difficulty on or the challenges on your end is, if the plastic ones, I mean, I think they both work equally as well, but then the challenge is that if they get damaged, then, you kind of may get into a situation where you're frequently replacing them, which causes like a potential safety hazard for residents in the interim. I don't know, Paul, do you have any kind of thoughts on the slipperiness of them or what?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, the experiences I've had with them in other locations is there's pros and cons to each, and I don't know that one is ultimately better than the other. But if it'd be possible in our community to find two very similar pedestrian traffic crosses, put one of each down and do a pilot and just see which one is the most ideal for us would be a good option to try until we found the one that to work best for our community. But that's for PW to take a look at if that's even an option.
Yeah, no, that's definitely good input and it's appreciated. Do you have a question?
I have two questions if I can. One, understanding, of course, that this is a preliminary drawing and not finalized, but further down Street A to the west side, there is a walkway that seems to go to nowhere. I was just curious what that is, future plans might be. Is there a concrete sidewalk to in there, a multi-use path, or is it just a hold for now?
It is just a hold for now. We did request a section of land there for a walkway for future connections. off to the left of the screen here, that is Buckland Drive. So there are a couple hurdles to get to Buckland there, but the idea was that down the road, we could have a connection from the subdivision to Buckland. And that would also connect to the trails on the west side of County Road 10. So at this time, we don't have a plan in place for it, but we are retaining that land for future considerations for that connection.
Fair enough. Okay. And my second question is, you know, it's probably the standard now is for concrete and sidewalks, but will the top coat finish be the same as the sidewalk that runs from Buckland Drive up to the new community center? Or will it be the old style that runs from the school to downtown? The old style is incredibly rough if you're in a mobility device and you don't have good suspension, but the other sidewalk is much nicer to ride on.
Yeah, I think it would be more or less what is in the new subdivision, Tower Hill South. It would be very similar sidewalk to that. I think the rough sidewalk that you're mentioning, I think that's more or less because of the age of that sidewalk. And the methods actually pouring the concrete back then were different than the methods now. So it would be very similar to the sidewalk in Tower Hill.
Okay. Yeah, well, when they put the separation in between the pads and the way they finish it off, it's like going over railroad ties in the old style. So the new style is much better. Thank you.
Oh, definitely. Do you have a question, Rick?
Yes, so on the southwest corner of B Street where it gets close to the County Road 10.
Yeah.
While we're on talking about sidewalks. Human nature is gonna be to take the shortest path. There's gonna be people living on one side of County Road 10 and the park's gonna be on the opposite side at some point in the future. I'm thinking human nature is gonna be we wanna cross on that County Road 10 hill. I don't know what's there at the bottom end of that street for. Doesn't look like there's lots going back out onto the County Road 10. Is there gonna be pathways for people to travel from the east side of the west side of the road on the County Road 10, or is that gonna be tried to be curtailed as much as possible? But human nature is they're gonna want to cross. They're not gonna walk all the way up to the intersection across and then all the way down to go east to the park.
It's a fair comment, and we've kind of seen that in Tower Hill South too.
Yes.
We do have a crossing there, but a lot of people tend to climb nature hill.
Yes.
Yeah, so we have been looking at that. As you know, we are doing the County Road 10 EA study
Yes.
for the design. So we are, depending on where that design goes, there is potential to have a connection. Part of the issue is along County Road 10 here, it is a fairly large slope. Like it's a 3-1 slope going from County Road 10 onto the subdivision. So we are, it has been brought up and we are looking into it. It's until we get further into the design of County Road 10, it's hard to say exactly what we will and won't be able to do, but the idea would be to have a connection through there.
Yeah, the other comment I would make is that we do have signals agreed to between the county and the township that follows that policy line.
Yes, but
Yeah, so
human nature is not gonna walk all the way up that hill to come down.
fair comment, yeah, I understand. So we're looking at that interconnect, but we do have these, we have signals planned for the town.
Just one comment that Wayne was briefly mentioning earlier is the township has requested on Street A, which is the main street that goes all the way through, to have sidewalk on both sides of the road. This is one of the first drafts that we sent, and they've only included it on the east side, like I've mentioned. So we we are requesting that it is on both sides so that there is the easier connection. And not necessarily having to cross as many roads. Yeah, Jerry.
On that note, is there any difference on either side of the road for what the township owns for road allowance? So that in the future, if things change, the volume's enough, it could be added.
Yes,
Constantly thing, but
so,
there's no difference in the lot depth.
no, there's no difference. The boulevard, width is the same on both sides of the road. And so ideally, if they were to agree with that request, it would mirror exactly what is shown on the plan here. So it would be on both the east and the west side of Street A.
That's the same for all the streets.
No, just Street A, the main street that goes from Fallis to,
But the township boulevard would be the same on all the streets.
oh, yes, for all the streets, they are symmetrical.
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions? No?
Not for me, no. Thank you for the walkthrough.
Yes, thank you very much. Okay, so that can wrap that up. So we'll have to call for a mover and a seconder, that the Accessibility Advisory Committee requests that regard be given to accessible design standards for public spaces identified in AODA Ontario Regulation 11911 for the, for this plan. Can we get the mover and seconder, Councilor Burns and Leslie? And Cindy, can we get you to do the recorded vote, please?
Leslie,
Yes.
Chair Buck,
Yes,
Councilor Byrne,
Yes.
that's carried.
terrific. Again, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And we look forward to seeing some of the future items for us to get a look at as well.
Great, thank you. We're just gonna take a minute. I think staff are going to go. They have other places they need to go. So Mark and I will continue the meeting with the rest of the committee.
Absolutely.
Thanks very much. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. It was nice meeting you as well.
Good luck with the rest of the meeting.
Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. We're wondering, through you, Chair Bucket, a little bit of the hesitation, what was happening on the other end of the chalkiness. So I don't know if it was maybe the AutoCAD drawing that was being displayed. So now that Drew's no longer sharing, maybe that will go away, but we might have to do some testing as we go forward if we're going to be using AutoCAD drawing, however you say that. So that's what was happening with the sound back and forth. We apologize for that.
Okay, no worries.
So our next item is our integrated accessibility officer. You can go on, Chair Buck. That's right for that.
Oh, you're doing a great job. Yeah, so our next piece of work, of course, is the Integrated Accessibility Standards Regulation, IASR Multi-Year Plan 2026 Work Plan. I guess we get a mover and a seconder to take a look at it, and then we can vote on what we do with it afterwards. So can I get a Councilor Burns and Leslie, mover and a seconder, and let's take a look. What do we got?
So to be, for procedural purposes, we do not need a motion to look at this. It's already added. So we will just skip that part because we don't need to call recorded vote. We'll talk about it if there's any changes that we want to make to the plan. So I can quickly give you an overview. Staff pulled in the components of our integrated accessibility standard regulation policy and applied some of those items into what we believe will be our 2026 work plan. And we took some of the items that we talked about at our last meeting and added them. But if there's anything that we want to change, or if there's any other initiatives that we want to add, we can. Or we can just use this as our starting point, and then as we continue to move forward, we can continue to build off this. The good news is item number 2 of this, we will already be able to check off today, which will be our compliance report. But if there's any questions, staff are more than willing, we're here to help.
Cindy, oh, sorry. Is it okay if I?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you. one thing that I think we had in our minutes, and I think that we were going to, and this may have already happened, ask staff to look at, is if there was a way to kind of offer an enhanced snow removal for people who were either, whether it be age-based or have mobility or a disability affecting their ability to effectively remove snow. I didn't know if that was something that perhaps staff needs to discuss before it even goes on the work plan, or if it was something that perhaps was found to not be feasible.
So to hear about to yourself, we did send that initiative to staff, and staff are going to take a look at it and come back on the feasibility of it. So we could put it on here if we wanted, or we can wait and see what staff's answer is. But as soon as I leave with that, we send that to them. We give the examples that you provided, so I know they're doing their due diligence to try to see if this is something that is feasible for the township of Catawba.
Okay.
So we'll leave it on our item to make sure we get that followed up on.
Okay. Thank you. And then one other thing that I wanted to mention is we have here under customer service where we had spoke about automated transcripts. And I did discover on YouTube, you may have already discovered this, but there is a transcript. And it's actually quite good because it picks up on all my ums and hms every time I lose my train of thought. So I was quite impressed with it. So maybe we could even just have a little kind of how to, access that. And then that would allow perhaps people who are, visually impaired or hearing impaired to, hearing impaired to be able to read the transcript instead of just read the minutes, right? Because then you get all that extra kind of context.
Great suggestion, and we could definitely have staff potentially add a little blurb on our website that says this is the option to do that. So I also do go back after a meeting and look. It does a really good job, except for names. It does not do a good job of our names, but that's all right. Other than that, you're right. It does pick up our ums and it does pick up our thoughts, but it definitely clearly picks up all the comments that everybody's making. It was great, to be honest. I loved it, truthfully, even for my minutes.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was absolutely perfect. Yes. So thank you for bringing that forward. We did go on after. I don't know if we must have turned the switch on because it was right after that I then saw that. Yeah. So we'll make sure our communications team puts that in. Great suggestion. I'll add that to the work plan.
Okay. Thanks, Cindy.
Any other suggestions?
No. And I did have a read through it, and like you said earlier on at the beginning here, Cindy, I think this is an excellent starting point for us as a new committee to have some bit of a guideline and a process, and absolutely be able to build on as we move forward. So I like the start. I like where we're at right now.
Perfect. Great. But I think really, is there any other, just one last call for comment on the plan? If not, we can accept the, approve the plan with the updates, and then we can move on to the next item.
Yes, we can. Yep. Do we have to have the recorded vote for the acceptance of these ones?
Yes.
Perfect. If I get Cindy to call the recorded vote for the Accessibility Advisory Committee to approve the updates to the Integrated Accessibility Standards Regulation multi-year plan for 2026.
I just need a quick mover and seconder for that. Leslie, Councilor Byrne, perfect. Chair Buck.
Yes.
Leslie.
Yes.
And Councilor Byrne.
Yes.
Perfect. Great.
All right. Now moving on, we can take a look at the draft 2025 Accessibility Compliance Report.
You chaired yourself and the rest of the committee. I'm very excited to present this report because this year our compliance report, we are fully compliant. Mark is on to the next page here. Next page. One more page. Perfect. So these are the compliance questions that we have to go through. And you'll see the one of the NA, which is our transportation standards, because at this moment, we do not offer transportation services, and then the same with the other one, the organization providing transportation services. But other than that, we're complying with all our regulatory requirements. We've got our multi-year plan, our updated IA, SR, as well as our accessibility advisory committee. So great job. So yes, I just need a motion unless anybody has any questions, to support our 2025 accessibility compliance report.
I put my hand up for the motion.
Okay.
No questions. I'm good to support this.
Wonderful. Thank you. So we'll do the recorded vote. Councilor Burns.
Yes.
Leslie.
Yes.
Caroline.
Yes,
Perfect.
excellent work. Thank you. Really looks good. It's nice to see all the yeses.
Yes. So excited. Thank you, everyone.
Excellent. And our last piece of business today is the adjournment. Can I get a mover and a seconder to let the Accessibility Advisory Committee meeting adjourn at 1:45 p.m. Councilor Burns, Leslie. Excellent. Thank you all. And the absolute very final piece of work. The next meeting, we will need one for November, but we will have that TBA. Cindy will reach out to us all and see if we can coordinate a day to get us all in there to have the meeting.
Perfect. One last recorded vote, and then we can adjourn. We
Of
have.
course. Yes.
And Leslie seconded it. So Leslie,
Yes.
Councilor Burns, and Jared.
Yes.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. And I will circulate some alternative dates for the next meeting. Have a great rest of
Thanks
the
so
day.
much, everyone. Thank